These pork sloppy joes have a ton of Caribbean flair, from nutmeg, allspice, cinnamon, a little bit of heat from habanero, Scotch bonnet. You want to make these. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is dice up my onion for the start of my jerk sauce. I'll need like a half an onion for this. Do a nice small dice. Set this aside. Right now I'm going to do a quick chop of my garlic. Mince it down to where it will melt once I start to cook it down. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat on my pan. A little bit of oil. Throw this right in my pot. And now what you wanna do, you wanna cook this down to where it's nice and translucent. Sweat the onions, bring out all that flavor of the garlic. I'm gonna season as I go. All right, I'm gonna let this cook down a little bit. I'm gonna start to prep my other ingredients for my jerk. All right, next I'm gonna take some ginger. Nice small chop on this. Throw that right in my pan. Some herbs, a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of thyme. Another quick chop on this. Quick stir. I'm gonna add a little more oil to this because I'm gonna add my pork next. All right, so here I have some pork tenderloin that's nice and diced up. So now that I have my pork in, it's time to add some spices. Jerk seasoning is known to be a combination of sweet and spicy. The sweet comes from some cinnamon, some allspice, and a tiny bit of nutmeg. And with Caribbean style jerk, it's known for some heat. That's where my Scotch bonnet comes into play. I'm gonna do a nice dice on this. I'm taking the seeds out. Fill this right in the pot. So right now this is kind of dry. I'm letting my spices bloom in the oil. I'm letting my pork cook down a little bit. And I'm gonna add some liquid and let it cook all the way through. All right, I'm starting to get a nice color on my pork. I'm gonna zest one lime right in here. Squeeze the juice in one lime. And for the rest of my liquid, it's gonna be some soy sauce. All right. All right, so now everything's in the pot. I'm just gonna taste it and see if it needs any more spice. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the nutmeg, a little more sweetness to it. All right, now my pork is going. I'll let this simmer. While this is cooking, I'm gonna toast up my buns. Take a little bit of butter. Now the buns I'm using are a black and white sesame seed bun. Pretty heavy, pretty dense, because I want them to be able to hold up the jerk pork sloppy joe mixture. So right now the smell is coming out of here. I can smell the heat from the Scotch bonnet. It's also called habanero. You can find them anywhere, any grocery store around the world. Buns are getting nice and toasty. So now all we have to do is assemble. So I don't want the mixture to soak up all the bread, make it nice and sloppy. So I'm using bibb lettuce. It's kind of like a divider, a protector of the bread. Put this down first. Pile it right on top. Take some fresh cilantro. Kind of pick it a little rough. I love the stems of cilantro. That's where most of the flavor comes from. And just stack this on top. All right, so here you go. Jerk pork sloppy joe. A little upgrade to the childhood favorite. Enjoy.